Hello, everybody, or probably nobody since it's basically a pilot. But either way, hello, my name's Bryan, and I'm part of Maine. And no, that's not a pony's hair. It is the Mariachi Academy of New England, and I'm part of Mariachi Plata. And I'm also here with my co-host.
Hi, my name is Pepe. I play trumpet with Mariachi No Inspiración, and I will be joining Bryan weekly to bring you news, stories, events of our academy.
Hey, Pepe, how you doing today?
Pretty good. How you been doing in this quarantine?
Been lazy, nothing much. Stuck on the couch half the time, binging Netflix. Have you done anything today yet?
So I practiced a little bit, then I was just playing some of my games.
Sounds good.
Have you been practicing more or less?
Probably less, but I'm trying to practice more, but it's been hard to get out of my laziness. But I'm trying. So, weird question. What are we doing here today?
We will be talking to some of our friends about their mariachi instruments and the role they play.
Sounds interesting. Hopefully they know what they're talking about. Welcome everybody. This is Jackie from Nueva Aspiración. Right now she's gonna tell us a bit about her harp there, and she's gonna play us a little bit. How about you take it from here, Jackie?
Yeah, so the mariachi harp is known as the founding father of mariachi. So in the 19th century, some of the first mariachis, they typically consisted of a harp, 1 to 2 violins, and a vihuela, and a guitarra de golpe. So the harp was really key in performing sons, which is a category of mariachi folk music. The harp would play solos. It can also be play in duets with a vihuela or a guitarra de golpe, or just all together with the group. And so the primary role of the harp is to provide the bass lines by playing the octaves, which are down here. And with the right hand, you would play the melodic lines. So it would be over here. And yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Can you play anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna play a part from the song Hermoso Cariño.
Cool. That sounded nice. So some personal question. Why did you join mariachi?
So I wanted to join mariachi because I wanted to be more involved musically in my life. I played the clarinet when I was young, and I was involved in chorus, but I kind of left anything music during high school. So during my senior year, I kind of wanted to get back into it because my sister started doing it, and because I wanted to be more involved in my culture and just understand it more.
Interesting. That's a nice backstory.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us. That was nice to hear. Pretty interesting. And thanks for joining Maine Weekly. Thanks a lot for teaching us.
Thank you.
Hello again, everybody. This is Maravi from Corazón de Oro, and today she's gonna teach us about the guitarra de golpe. Go ahead, Marabi.
Hi, this is the guitarra de golpe was an original mariachi instrument, and it got replaced by guitar and vihuela. There's 4 different ways to tune it.
Can you show us the instrument?
So it's smaller than a guitar, but a little bit bigger than a vihuela.
Cool. Is there any main differences between them?
The tuning is different depending on how you tune it. This tuning that I have is way different, so the chords are complicated. The pitch is lower than a vihuela, but higher than a guitar. So it's kind of like it's supposed to make them harmonize.
Oh, do you think you can play something for us?
Sure.
That was good. What was that from? Cool. Can you tell us why you joined mariachi?
Because I wanted the music experience.
Fair enough. What do you miss about your group?
I miss just being with my friends because they're like my family.
Okay, that about wraps it up. Thank you for joining us. Thanks.
Bye.
So we'd like to welcome Jairo to this program, guitarón player with Mariachi Corazón de Oro, and he's going to tell us a little about guitarón.
The guitarón is a section bass that was developed in Cúcula. In the early 1900s, it replaced the harp. The guitarón was easier to carry around and to play popuriles that changed keys. It played octaves between the thumb to the middle finger and thumb to index finger.
Jairo, can you demonstrate the guitarón for us?
Sure, no problem. So, as it says in the little description, use it, and then you use it to play the A. Only use your middle finger to play the A, and then for the C and E, you use your index finger. And it's like a crab. It pinches their hands, but make sure you like be calm, never get intense and those stuff, because then it gets your hand hard, and then you don't want that, because then you get tired easier by making yourself hard.
So Jairo, can you play us something? Wow, Jairo, that was pretty cool. But how did you first join mariachi?
So when I first saw Colin Nal, those are I got inspiration, but then I also saw Antigua and I was like, whoa, I want to play like them. So then I first joined as a violin, but then I looked at the guitar. No one was playing it. It just accepted Clawley. So I wanted to play the guitar because I wanted to be different from the other people. And so when I first started, I felt happy. Yeah.
If you could switch to an instrument, what would you switch it to?
If I could switch to any instrument, it would be the viola
Why?
because I think it's a instrument like the guitar, very different from other instruments, and they only come from Mexico.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for joining us today.
This is Hadelis from Corazon de Oro, and today she's going to be teaching us about the vihuela.
The vihuela is for its backgrounding and its tenor pitch tuning. It was basically considered one of the original instruments of the ensemble. It was introduced in the Spanish conquest, and it was originally made by Rosbach and Gorstring. In modern day, the instrument now has 5 strings, and they are A, B, G, B, C. The G string is actually tuned an octave higher than a guitar G string. It allows the vihuela to produce the tenor sound.
Do you know why the changes were made from the old vihuela to the new vihuela?
I actually don't know, but it sounds nice.
Can you play us a bit?
Yeah.
Can you tell us why you joined mariachi?
Yes. I was always passionate about music, but when I heard mariachi, it just caught my eye, and I really liked the sound of the instruments, how they all work together too.
What do you miss most about playing right now?
I miss playing as a group, and it was really fun playing as a group. Yeah.
Good. Okay, that wraps it up. Thank you for teaching us about the vihuela. Thanks for joining us here at Maine Weekly. Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, next we'd like to welcome Ronnie for joining us today. He's a violin player with Mariachi Colonial, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his violin.
The violin developed from its primitive form as a fiddler instrument to accompany singing and dancing. The violin reached an unequal level of perfection in only the few decades. In Mexico, early groups contained 2 violins, a harp, and a vihuela, and during the early 19th century, in the absence of the harp, violin sections grew to be more than 3 or 5 members to allow arrangers to begin writing 3-piece harmonies. The modern-day violins are usually performed with the bow, as you can see here, which creates the sound on the violin. With the proper technique, the bow can be manipulated to create beautiful boleros and sones as we see in mariachi.
Can you like play us something?
This song that I'm about to play is a traditional song called Son de la Negra. It's played by multiple mariachis and is very well known.
What is your favorite song to play on violin?
My favorite song would be all those sones that we have, which is like fast-paced songs, and like it really brings out the culture of Mexico and like how Mexico used so many types of arrangement and music to help people with like, let's say, love or like depression. And it shows how life was in Mexico during that time.
Oh, and why did you join mariachi?
I joined mariachi because originally I was in a school that taught violin, and it really was notes on a paper. But once I reached to mariachi, it was really more passionate. It was really more about how do you play the song and like the expressions and the feelings that you do into a song that like portrays out to the audience.
Thank you for presenting the violin.
It was a pleasure being here. Thank you for having me.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
This is Sergio from Nueva Inspiración. He is gonna talk to us about his trumpet and the backstory behind it. Take it from here, Sergio.
Hi, this is a standard B-flat trumpet, and it comes in colors of gold and silver. The trumpet is known to be the loudest instrument in the mariachi. It also was introduced in the 1940s in mariachi, and it got its way into mariachi to make a louder sound because the string instruments weren't loud enough, so they needed to bring a trumpet to make the sound louder. And a famous person that played the trumpet was Miguel Martinez. He played in Mariachi Vargas.
Do you know how many trumpets are in groups usually?
2 to 3.
Interesting. Can you tell us why you joined mariachi?
I joined mariachi because my family used to like play, and my grandpa used to play like the guitar. And every time I went to Mexico, sometimes they brought mariachis, and that's the reason why.
If you could change your instrument, would you?
No.
Why's that?
I mean, since I was little, I liked how the trumpet sound. Because when I was little, I used to practice the violin and the guitar, but I stuck with the trumpet.
Cool. Do you think you can demonstrate for us?
Sure.
And what piece was that from?
Hermoso cariño.
All right. Thank you for joining us, Sergio. You answered a lot of questions and we learned a lot about the trumpet. So thank you for joining Maine Weekly. Bye.
Goodbye.
Next, we'd like to welcome Silali. She plays armonía with Mariachi Colonial, and she's going to tell us a little bit about the guitar.
This is the guitar. It's also known as the Spanish guitar. It's the oldest and it has 6 strings. It was introduced to the mariachi when Spanish conquered Mexico. It's also popular in classical, folk, and modern music. You would also just strum it with a pick or even just pluck it.
Can you play us something?
Sure. I'll play like a bolero style in the chord G.
Why did you join mariachi?
At first it was just kind of like for something to do in my free time, but now that like I'm more involved in it, I really like playing and like all the experiences I have going to gigs. And it's also just a good way to hang out with my friends.
Okay, and if you had a choice to pick another instrument, which one would you pick?
I think I'd pick violin, because that way like I can understand the struggles of like how to read the music, like because violins are usually like usually have like more complicated music.
Thanks for being here. Stay safe. Bye.
Thank you.
So, Pepe, knowing all that, would you stay with your instrument or would you change it?
Probably play vihuela because I would like to learn another instrument besides trumpet. How about you?
I would stick with violin because, in my opinion, I feel like it's the most advanced, and there's a lot more to learn with violin. There's a bunch of levels in it, and I'm just intermediate so far, and so I still have a lot to learn with it, and I like to perfect my skills before trying any other instruments. You know?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you everybody for watching. I'm Bryan,
I'm Pepe.
and we are Main Weekly. Bye. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. That was telling me that my
fingers. And then we'll let Adelis.
Okay, let's start over. In the modalic sessions.
In Mexico. Wait, can I start over?
Yeah, start over.
Modalic.
Okay, what?
Melodic. Okay.
Yeah, melodic.
Okay, Ryan, take over this podcast to tell some jokes.
okay, tell some jokes.
What do you call a pig that does karate?
What?
A pork chop.
The modalic sections.
5, 4.
The modern day
Take out
violins
the
are
word.
used-
Just take out the word.
You said medallic.
Okay, modalic. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
For the medalic sessions.